Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about I think 11 of my favorite fall lipsticks. I've got a big variety here, so it's not just going to be like deep winey shades, although I love them, and I have a big variety of formulas as well. So regular lipsticks, actually no, I don't have any regular lipstick here. It's liquid lipsticks, glosses, some kind of liquefied lipsticks, a bunch of different formulas in here, so there should be a little something for everybody. I tried to make it a little bit more unique, and they're not all brand new. Lots of these are things that have been out and that I've loved for a while. So let's go ahead and get started. So a lot of the time when I do these kind of like best of videos, sometimes there will be no product that is my favorite. Sometimes there will be a product that is the one that sparked this idea, because I'm like, I love this so much, so what else do I love? So that's kind of where this lipstick comes in. It is the Sephora Collection Cream Lip Stain. I have done a lip swatch video on these a while back. I will link that down below. I'm not sure if this was around then because they've expanded their shades. It's in the shade 54, and I love the Sephora Cream Lip Stains. Huge shade range, great price. I think they're under $20 Canadian, but this shade specifically is actually kind of what I'm wearing as my sort of lip liner today, but I wear it on its own. Super comfortable, full of pigment. It's got a bit of a thinner formula. I feel like they have really good wear time, and I think they're like the most underrated thing that Sephora Collection does. They're incredible, and I know liquid lipsticks like aren't as hot as they used to be. They're creeping back into my life, but I do really love this shade specifically. Every single fall I break it out. Something that is newer to me but I've been wearing non-stop, either as a topper or just on its own, is one of these Maybelline lifter glosses. Now, I did a full lip swatch video of this collection. I will link it down below, but I love these glosses because they've got some pigment in there. They're not super sticky, but they're still thick, so they have good wear time. And there's a bunch of nudes that I really love from that line, but Petal was kind of one that surprised me because it has a little bit of shimmer in there. It's a warm shimmer, it barely shows up on the lips. It doesn't feel gritty, but it's this kind of mauvey tone, and you'll notice a couple of mauves in my selection here. That's not always a lipstick shade that I am drawn towards, but more recently I have been, and I think they pair, like, they just look really fresh and nice on the lips, whether you have nothing on your eyes or a warm eye look. I think they're really versatile, but this gloss formula specifically is really delightful, and I freaking love the shade. Whenever brown lipsticks became a trend, and like, I know they were a trend and now they've made their way back, but I think it was maybe 2 years ago, and I would have never thought I would have loved a brown lipstick, but I wore brown lipstick non-stop. There's a bunch of great shades that I wore. There was a ColourPop one specifically that I wore all the time. That had a little bit more warmth than this one, but I still think that this shade is gorgeous, and it is from Fenty. What is the shade called? Unveil. It is one of their Stunna lip paints, so this definitely has a more kind of traditional liquid lipstick feel. It can feel a little bit dry, but nothing unbearable. It looks super matte, and like I said, this is a bit of a more neutral or cooler tone brown, but I still think it pops so nicely on the skin. Like, I don't know, I just never saw brown lipstick. Like, in my mind, imagining brown lipstick, I'm like, how flattering can it really be? But I gotta say, I really wore the crap out of brown lipstick for a while, and I'm excited to start doing it again. This is perhaps a less typical shade perhaps when you come to think of fall lipsticks, but I really love it. So this is in the shade Soft Matte Lip Cream from NYX, in the shade Abu Dhabi. I love London too. They're both quite similar. This has maybe a little bit more warmth to it, but the reason I really like this is, firstly, you can pair it with a lip liner if you don't love the look of just the lipstick, because I probably would put a lip liner on with this, but it looks really good if you have a deeper eye. So if you have like a burgundy or maroon or oranges or warm browns on your eyes and you really want the eyes to pop, I feel like this is such a complementary shade. So it may not look fallish from the get-go, but if you're like, I want to do dark eyes and you're not sure what to put on the lips, such a good option. These are really thin. They're matte. They have good wear time. I would say not as much as like some of the other liquid lipsticks that are out there, but that makes them more comfortable, and they really have this like soft matteness to them. And this is probably the most probably second most affordable thing that I'm going to be talking about today, because the price on these haven't really changed, because again, they're kind of starting to be overlooked, but such a good formula. Probably the most affordable thing that I'm mentioning today is from Essence. This is the Color Boost Matte About Matte Liquid Lipstick. I could easily put this in a best summer lipsticks video as well, because it is just like so bright, so fresh, so peachy. Similar formula to the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, and that has like this almost powdery softness. This one is in the shade 08 Partner in Crime. Again, you could absolutely wear a lip liner with this, but the reason I like this so much is similar to the NYX in that it looks so good when you have like yellows, oranges, warm browns on your eyes. They really complement each other well and gives a pop on the lip. It's a little bit unexpected, you know? Like, not that anyone, I mean, we're wearing masks all the time anyways, but I do really like it, and I mention it just because I want to maybe help you think outside the box when it comes to deeper lips. And for me, I know when I do a darker eye, I generally don't want to pair it with a really deep lip. It kind of depends on the day, and that is just a really good pairing shade. If you're wondering what's in the center of my lips, it is this. It's kind of new from MAC. I do plan on doing a lip swatch video of all of these. If it's not up, I don't think it is. It will be coming. So this is the Powder Kiss Liquid Lip Color. Now, I loved the liquid lipsticks that MAC came out with a little while back. They really reminded me of the Smashbox Always On liquid lipsticks, but they didn't dry out, and I'm pretty sure they're probably made at the same place because they're all owned by Estee Lauder. But these are interesting. Again, very similar to the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in that powdery formula, but not as thin. So I do feel like you need to, or like I tend to put on a little bit too much of this and it doesn't like dry down as well as I want it to. You don't need to use a lot of this. Tons of pigment. Even go in with your finger and kind of mush it around, and you have the ability to build pigment too. So it can kind of look like a stain or a full lipstick. I absolutely love this shade on its own. It's like this beautiful rusty orange shade, but I love it paired with the Sephora collection too. I really do love, you know, people always ask me what's on my lips. Generally, there's no less than 2 things. So something to consider if you're like, why doesn't my lipstick ever look like that? Probably because I'm putting like 4 things on my lips, you know, like we have to be have to be realistic about like what people are actually doing to their faces, especially freaking YouTubers, because I know I'm guilty of it, and I barely do, you know, anything to my face, let alone the people who are just doing the most intricate things to their faces. So just something to consider. Totally off topic, but this is in the shade Sorry Not Sorry. I love it on its own. I love it paired with other things. I do not find it to be as long wearing as their liquid lipstick formula, but again, there's more comfort. A very easy shade to wear here is from Pixi by Petra. This is the Matte Last Liquid Lip. I talked about these in a recent favorites video. I really, really love this formula. Super pigmented, so good. Some of you have said you saw it at Shoppers Drug Mart. I've never seen these liquid lipsticks at Shoppers, so it might depend on the one I'm going to. I should look on their website, but I don't think I saw it on their website because I've tried to link to them before. But anyways, this is in the shade Evening Rose. If you have a similar skin tone to mine, such an easy shade to wear. You do not need a lip liner. It feels really comfortable. It has a little bit of the mauvey but rosiness to it, so it's just like, I wouldn't call it like a My Lips But Better shade, but you could kind of wear it with, you know, very minimal sort of look that I have going on today, or you could easily pair it with something that's a little bit more dramatic if you're doing wing liner and dark eyes. It's just a very easy shade to wear because everything else that I'm mentioning today is like very nude, very orange, very, you know, gonna get into some berries now in a minute and deeper shades. So this is kind of my one, like, can go with everything. This shade kind of looks similar to the Maybelline lip gloss that I mentioned first in this video. This is the Bobbi Brown Crushed Liquid Lips. This is another lipstick formula that I think is so underrated. It is so good. It's kind of like, it's a very unique formula. Like, it can go on with minimal pigmentation and look almost matte, stainy, but then as you build it up, it gets a little bit more pigment, a little bit more gloss, but it doesn't feel messy. Like, I do not like deeper glossy shades because I don't like the look and I just feel like they're going to move around. This one is in the shade In a Jam. So this has, if I was to compare to the Maybelline, this definitely has a little bit more purple undertones or kind of plum in it, and a little bit more pigmentation for sure. Definitely a very different formula. No shimmer in here either, and I think it's just a gorgeous shade. If you have yet to try these, did I do a lip swatch video on these? I think I meant to, but I don't know if I ever did, but I freaking love, there's so many shades from this line that I wear literally all the time, and this is the one I've been reaching for the most. If you're like, Samantha, where are those freaking typical fall shades? This is absolutely it. This is another lipstick formula that I'm obsessed with and love like all the shades. I love lipstick so much. I think it's my favorite of all the makeup things, honestly. This one is in the shade Pavlova, and it's from Bite Beauty. It's one of their kind of power move creamy matte lip crayons, I think they call them, but beautiful. Such a great shade. It has like this bright and berryness to it, but you're still getting that like winey depth. Really comfortable formula. I guess this would be kind of the most traditional lipstick formula. Like, it is a lipstick formula. I don't find them to be like matte. Like, they're definitely nowhere near as matte as the other things that I'm mentioning today. They call them matte, but I guess it's maybe by comparison to their other products. So if you're expecting it to be like completely flat, that's not the case, but really, really comfortable, and it is basically a traditional lipstick cream sort of formula, but in a little skinny tube. And then finally, I love this shade. I think it's super unique, and again, a formula that I absolutely love, the NARS Power Matte Lip Power Matte Liquid Lipsticks? Lip Pigments. Wow, sorry. The red from this line is my favorite red ever, in the shade Don't Stop. This is a really unique shade in London Calling. It's kind of a dusty purple, but it has enough depth to it that I don't need to wear a liquid lipstick, and I think it's a really unique shade. It's a little bit cool toned, it's a little bit different for me, but very, very wearable, and like just interesting enough that someone's like, ooh, what lip color are you wearing, without it being like, whoa, what are you wearing, sort of thing. Not that that's bad, but it is a really, really unique shade and a really great, comfortable liquid lipstick formula, one of my favorites, which I think I've said about everything, but that's why I'm talking about it. So those are my fave fall lipsticks. Let me know down below what yours are, and let me know if you have tried any of these. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!